Hi everybody, this is Natalia from Slovak Homemade Cakes Facebook page, and today we're going to make some poppy seed and nut rolls. So, what do we need for the recipe? We need some all-purpose flour. We're gonna start with 4 cups, but you can add as much as you want, depends on how much you want to bake. So probably 4 or 5 cups flour for us. Then we're gonna need some milk. You need 1.5 cups of milk. Then we need yeast, 1 packet of active dry yeast. You can buy it in any grocery store. And we will need 2 eggs. Sugar, I would say 5-6 tablespoons for the dough, and then sugar for the filling. And then we need some melted butter to brush, and also, to brush before it goes in the oven and to brush after. Okay, so we heated up the milk. It's pretty warm to the touch. Oh, now I'm spilling it. So, let's see, here's our milk. I cannot find my candy thermometer right now, so I can't tell you what temperature you're looking for, but this is how we do it. I washed my hands. Yep, it's pretty warm. You don't want it too hot, because if it's too hot, it's gonna kill the yeast. So you want it probably between 80 and 100 degrees. So more than lukewarm, but not too hot to touch. We'll put it in a bowl. Alright, now we're going to open our liquid. We're going to start with the flour. I would say, it really doesn't matter. So 1, 2, probably good. 3 tablespoons good. And a little bit of sugar. I would say 1 tablespoon of sugar. Yeast needs something to feed on to proof. So you definitely need to give them a little bit of sugar and a little bit of flour. And now we're going to open the yeast. These are, let's see, like this. There's a little bit in the corner. Alright, good. And we're going to mix it. It's not coming off, so I'm just going to use my fingers as I always do. And you want to mix it up a little bit. All those little lumps. Right. We're about done here. Or another big lump of yeast. Right here. Alright. So, this is what we're looking for. Right here. Oh, let me put this one in there too. This is what we're looking for. And now we're going to leave this, set it aside. We're going to cover it with a clean kitchen towel. Like this. And we're going to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, but no longer than that. And we're looking for nice and thick foam. Alright, so it's been about 15 minutes, so we're going to check on our yeast. So when you open it, you can see it worked, the magic worked. There's a nice and thick foam. I hope you can see it. Yes, good. So this means the yeast is good, approved, and our rolls, our dough is going to rest. So now we're going to start with the flour. We're going to sift 4 cups of flour. This is 4, and I'm going to add a little more because I want to make rolls, but I also want to make Slovak Bobalky, which is our traditional Christmas dish. So it is made from the same yeast dough as rolls. Those are little balls that you cover with poppy seed, and it is served as one of the dishes at Christmas dinner. So I like to make these up front, and they freeze really well, so I throw them in the freezer and I'll take them out just in time for Christmas dinner. So that's one less thing I need to worry about. Alright, so I would say a pinch of salt, about this much. Because this is all for sweet rolls, we're going to add about 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 tablespoons. There's already 1 tablespoon in it, so it should be, no, it should just have a little hint of sweetness. So what else do we need? I'm going with 2 eggs just before I have more flour, and because these eggs are small, so we're going with 2 eggs. You can get away with 1 big egg or just 1 egg. You know, everybody has different recipe, and they all work. This is very forgiving dough. You can go as high as 8 cups of flour with the same amount of yeast and eggs. All you do is just keep adding a little warm water as you need it. All right, good. So now we need to add our yeast into the dough. So you can see that nice thick foam right here. Get every little bit you can. Alright, here's my KitchenAid. What we need is a kneading hook. So this works really well. Just bring this even closer. Alright, good. We should be fine. So I'm going to prepare warm water. We're going to be adding warm water as needed. Yeah, I can tell we're going to need some. So I'm just going to pour some in. You don't want the dough to get too thick, because then it's hard to go back. So it's easier to add more flour. Alright, that's getting thick, so that's about what we're looking for. I'm gonna let it mix for about a minute or 2. We just want to incorporate everything and break all the lumps. Yeah, that's good. Unlock it, so let's see. Yeah, this is what we want. Let's see, you see it's still really sticky. And that's what we're looking for. Like when I do this with my spatula, it sticks. Alright. I'm just gonna clean it all off. This is how it looks. Pretty heavy. There are 4 cups of flour in it, so it's supposed to be heavy. Alright, so what we're going to do is just kind of clean it off the edges. Now what I did last couple times, it worked well for me, is pour a little oil on the sides. Just tiny bit. So as it rises, like this, as it rises, it doesn't stick to the bowl as much. So just like this. I'm just going to roll it around a little bit, and it will be easier to take it out. So we're going to cover it, and we're going to put it in a nice and warm place. So this is what I do. I take my blankie, nice and warm blanket, and wrap it around my dough, like this. And then I cover it with another blanket. So there's no heat escaping, and as it works, as the yeast works, it warms up the dough, and you can feel it when you when it's done rising and you touch it. The bowl is going to be really, really warm. Right? So this is how it looks. We're going to put it on the side, and we're going to let it rise for at least an hour. Alright, so we're back. We are going to prepare filling for our puppy and nut rolls. What we need is, we need ground walnuts, so I already ran them through my blender. Okay, so I have my poppy seeds ready to go. Now we're going to mix it with some sugar. So we have about a cup of poppy seeds. I'm going to do, this is a half a cup. I ran out of my regular sugar, so we're going to do this organic cane sugar. I can't believe I ran out of sugar. And I'm boiling some water. We'll need some hot water. So let's see how much more. We're about half a cup right now. You need to taste it to see if it needs more sugar or if it's still bitter. It's done boiling. Let's see, I have 1/3 of a cup here, or actually 1/4. And I'm going to pour it. Let's see, we need more. Yeah, we'll need another 1/4. So we're at a half cup right now. Half cup of boiling water. Oh, that might be a little bit too much. Let's see. We're going to add a little more sugar. And we're gonna let it sit for a bit and we'll taste it. Now let's prepare the nut roll. Oh, I'm sorry, the nut roll filling. So same thing, we have about a cup of nuts, half a cup of sugar. And we're going to mix this with warm milk. Let me see, we can do tablespoons just so we have an idea how much we're putting in. So this is half a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon, 2, 3 tablespoons of milk. Let's see, we need more. Yep. So we have 4 tablespoons right now. This was a half tablespoon. Now, this looks about right. So we added about a cup of sugar to this. Cup of poppy seeds, cup of sugar. I added half a cup of water, that was too much, so just 1/4 cup and maybe take it slowly from there with a couple of teaspoons. Good. I'll set that aside. We'll also need 1 beaten egg with a little bit of cold water. That's for brushing before it goes in the oven. We'll brush it on the top. And we also need melted butter, like this. We're gonna brush it on the dough when we roll it before we spread the filling on, and also when we take the rolls out, we're gonna brush them with. Okay, so now we're ready to check out our dough. It's been about 2 hours for me. I would say hours is standard, but I got a little busy with other stuff, so it's been sitting for about 2 hours. So let's see how it looks. And it is nice and warm. Okay, well, this is how our dough looks right now. So let's dust this really well. Spread it. This is where our dough is going to rest. And let's do this. This is a little messy, as always. Alright, didn't stick. Now we're gonna knead it a little bit. Fold over a few times. Don't beat it too much. Just gently fold it over. It's still pretty it was still pretty sticky, so alright. This looks about right what we're looking for. We're gonna cut it into 5 pieces. Pretty equal pieces. I'll try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's not super pretty, but it works. Alright, so let me see. I think we're gonna start with Bobalky, this one. Alright. So we're going to roll. This one we don't want to roll too thin. We want these little balls to grow up and be nice and thick. So I would say this one will go about 1/2 inch. Alright. And I'm going to cut it like this. Roll it. Doesn't have to be pretty, they're gonna bake. It'll be just fine. This is the baked dish. Now I'm just making a really tiny bit batch for Bobalky as you know, as a sample to show you. So what we need now is our butter. We're going to brush this really well everywhere. And now we're going to put this one here. Now we're gonna brush it really well so they don't stick to each other. Right here. I can cut it a little bit off. Yeah, good. And now we'll brush again. One more. Right here. These are going to be pretty small, but all we need is a little bit of Bobalky that we put on a Christmas table. And I can try to make a few. This is how we used to do them. Just roll it and throw it in there like this. And we'll see. Okay, good. Lots of butter on it. Now I'm going to take my spatula, dip it in my butter, and I'll go like this. And I learned this neat trick from my friend Luboš. He's running a Slovak cooking website and Slovak cooking Facebook page. And I saw that on his website and I was thinking, oh, that's awesome. That is so much easier than what we used to do. Alright, good. So I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit. Proof for a little bit before they go in the oven. This is how they look. And now we can roll the rolls. So they've been resting for a little bit while I was doing Bobalky. So now they're ready to go. Oh, one more. Okay, good. So we need to dust the board again. And we can start rolling. I'll need more flour too. I don't need the knife anymore. I'm going on the side. Alright, so let's roll it. And we'll try to make it into oval, you know, uniform, all sides like this. We'll stretch a little more when we start spreading the filling. It looks about right. So I would say, but I don't know, 1/2 centimeter. So it's hard to tell, but you don't want it too thick. Because you don't want to bite into a roll and there's just lots of dough and not much filling. So here, try to make this a little more uniform. Okay, good. We're good. Now we're ready to fill it. So let's do the nuts first. So first we need to brush some melted butter. right here. And try to do it all the way up to about an inch to the edge. You need a good brush. This is not too horrible, but we used to have really good brushes in Slovakia. They were made, it's pretty much just one single feather from duck. They were awesome. I'm definitely gonna stock up on those when I go back home. Alright, now we're going to spread about half of this. Oh, that's about half. And it's sticky, so it doesn't have to be super pretty. I'll go to about this inch from the edge. Don't have to go all the way to these edges, but you do want to go all the way to this middle. This is where it all will start. Okay. And you see what I meant? Keep kind of stretching the dough as I'm doing the filling. All right. So I'm just going to take it all off like this. Put it right here in the middle. And I think we are good. Let's see. We need a little more here. All right, we're ready to roll. I'm gonna get a paper towel. With my hands. Now we can roll. So we're going to try to roll it pretty loosely because this is always going to grow. And if you roll it really tight, it will burst because, you know, it wants to grow. Inside's growing, outside is not like growing enough. So pretty loosely right here. And I have my oven preheating at 320. I used to do it at 350, but I decided to try a little lower this time because my rolls have been bursting like crazy and I can't figure out what's going on. So we're gonna try to bake the lower temperature, so maybe baking it slower will help. This is my baking pan. I'm going to brush it with butter. You can put wax paper or parchment paper on the bottom if you feel like, but they've been pretty good. Just, you know, rub it with lots of butter. Okay, good. And I'm ready to transfer it. So did you see the seam is on the bottom? It's pretty loose. I'm not sticking or kind of pinching or anything. I'm just gonna let the roll sit on it. Try to cover it. And these ends, I'm just going to fold them over a little bit so the filling doesn't come out of these ends. Now I'm pretty sure they will burst and that's fine. You know, they still taste good. They just might not look super perfect, but they're fine. So now we're gonna wait for another roll to put here, and then we're gonna brush them with egg, but at the same time. You don't want to do that too much before they go in the oven. Alright, so now I'm going to do poppy seeds. The same thing, trying to make it all pretty, you know, just try to keep it in an oval shape. A little too long. Just bring this side. Alright, that looks about right to me. This way, we're going to brush with butter. I have to mold more. Same thing. So now we're ready for the poppy. Okay. Lots of poppy. I like that. I like poppy seeds more than the dough. So I want lots of poppies in my rolls. Alright, again, we're gonna try to stay away from this. Too close. Oh no. Alright. And we're going to go pretty close to this edge. That's what's in the middle. Alright. Now we're going to roll this and we'll see. Well, there's melting. I'm going to try to stretch it a little more. Okay, rolling it loosely. I have to wash my hands so we don't have poppy seeds on the top. Alright, so let's transfer it now to the butter melting. So I'm going to tuck it all in there. Right, so you can see that's good. It's trying to escape already. Yeah, I maybe made the poppy seeds a little runnier than they should be. So I'm sure they're going to try to escape. So that's okay. Alright. I'm gonna let them rest for about 5 minutes before they go in the oven. So I'm gonna roll the other two and we'll be back. Okay, so here are our poppy seed and nut rolls. Of course, they burst in seams, so there's poppy seed everywhere and nuts kind of seeping out too, but it's okay. It happens to me all the time, so yeah, I'll try to continue to figure out what I'm doing wrong. So I'm just gonna brush it with the butter. I promise, it's still really good. Brush it with the butter. We're good. Let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to transfer it to different plate to cool down. Now this is our bobalky. They came out pretty nicely. Same thing. Gonna brush it. You see how they break into little pieces? So much easier than rolling them individually. Alright, so brush them. We're good. Let everything cool down. Alright, so my poppy seeds and nut rolls are ready. They're nice and cooled down. They've been sitting for about an hour. So they're definitely cooled down enough to be cut. And also, here are my bobalky. Here we go. This is what we did. And this is what we serve with poppy seed as a dish for Christmas dinner. Alright, so let me see. We're gonna cut into this one. And this is how it looks. And here you go. And let's cut into, and it's falling apart a little bit. That's okay. Go in the middle. Alright, looks better now. Lots of nuts. So I'm going to cut a few so I can arrange them and take a picture for the future. And this is how it looks. So this is our final product. This is how it looks when you cut it. And I think it came out pretty well. This is the nut roll. You can see lots of nuts. And this is the poppy seed. It did burst, it falls apart a little bit, but it still tastes delicious and it actually looks pretty good. And here are our bobalky. Little balls of dough. So what you do with these, you put them in a bowl and you boil water. You want really hot water, and you pour a little bit of water on them to soften up. And then you take the poppy seed meal, the mixture. It's the same as what we were putting in a poppy seed roll, and you just cover the bobalky in the poppy seed. And that's about it. You do it just a little bit before dinner, so it has time to soak it up a little bit. And then you serve it at the Christmas dinner. Alright, well, this is about it. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and really it's not that difficult. So I hope some of you will try and do it on your own at home. And I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much.